Hello students, welcome back to my channel once again. So today we will be covering the CBSE Board Grade 10 chapter statistics. In the previous video I explained the statistics chapter, that is the part 1. So there I explained the how to find the mean. There are three methods I explained. That is one is direct method, then we have assumed mean method, and the third one is step deviation method. So in the previous video, we explained the direct method. In this video, this is the part 2 of this video. So in this video, we are going to explain the assume mean method to find the mean value. Okay. So let's take a look. What is assume mean method? So the formula for assumed mean method is x bar, that is the mean, equal to a plus summation of fi di by summation of fi. Now I know that you will not be able to understand what is A, what is DI. Okay, so I will explain in detail each everything with the example. So here x bar is equal to mean. A is the assumed mean, and Fi is frequency, and Di is the deviation. So we will learn each and everything with the help of the problems. So let's take a look at the first problem. The measurements in millimeter of the diameters of the head of screws are given below. So the table, the diameter is given, that is the class interval, and the number of screws is the frequency over here. Calculate the mean diameter of the screw by assumed mean method. So let's take a look how we are going to solve to find the mean using assumed mean method. So first, what is given in the question? The class interval. So first we will write the class interval. Also we need to write the frequency, that is Fi. So now we will just copy the class interval that is given in the diameter. Then we will just copy all the frequencies from the question. Okay. Now next step is to find the class width. Class width, we know that the difference between the subsequent class interval, either lower limit you can take or upper limit, anyone you can take. So if you take a look over here, in this class interval, it is not continuous, right? Because 33 to 35, after that we have 36 to 38. So this is not a continuous class interval. So now width of the class will be equal to 3, that is 36 minus 33. Now class mark will be equal to, we know that class mark is lower limit plus upper limit by 2. Okay, so that is 33 plus 35 by 2, that is 34. So now we know that in whenever we are doing the direct mean method, if we get the next class mark, then we can just add the class width to get the next class mark. Okay, so now 34 plus h, that is the class width. If we add up, we will get the next class mark. Correct? Okay. Now coming to the third one, just add 3. Again we will add 3, and the final we have to add, and we will get the last class mark. Now in the fourth column, here we are going to calculate the DI. In the previous I explained that there is one term we are going to calculate in assumed mean method, that is DI. Now what is this DI? DI is equal to xi minus a. Now I know that what is a over here. That will come to your mind. So no worries, I will explain each and everything. So now what is a? So a, we will assume any one value from xi column as a. That we will consider as assumed mean. So we can take any value from the xi, that we will consider it as assumed mean, that is a. Now, preferably we will always take the middle value of the column. Okay. So in this case, we will take the 40, because 40 is the middle of this column. So let us consider this A as 40 over here. Now calculate di. So di will be xi minus a, that is xi minus 40. So that is 34 minus 40, which is minus 6. Now to find the next set of di, there is an easy way. Like always, instead of subtracting xi minus 40, what we can do, since we know that basically xi is, each subsequent xi is the addition of the previous xi with the class width, right? Since xi we are subtracting 40 from xi, so if we just add the class width here, then we will get the subsequent di value as well. So just by adding h to this di, we will get the next di. Okay. So that means minus 6 plus 3, that is the 3 is the class width. So we will get minus 3, then again minus 3 plus 3, 0, then 3, then 6. So we got all the di values. Now in the fifth column, we will calculate the fi into di. Fi di. Okay, so just we need to multiply the frequency with the di value. So we filled all the columns over here. Now finally what we need to do, we need to add the fi. So that is the summation of fi. So that is coming 100. Now we also need to add the fi di. That will be the summation of fi di. So first we are going to calculate the negative value and then we will calculate the positive value. Just note over here, in FIDI or DI will always be 0 for the whenever whatever row we have selected as the mean, that row will be always 0 because we are subtracting a from xi, so that row will always be 0. So now FIDI will be, so you just need to subtract 225 minus 117, you will get 108. Now what is the formula for the mean in assumed mean method? That is mean equal to x bar equal to a plus summation of fi di by summation of fi. Now put all the values over here. So 40 plus 1.08, that is 41.08. So that is the assumed mean method to find the mean value of any dataset given. Hope this is clear to you. We will solve more problems, then you will be able to understand. Okay. Now the next problem is, a class teacher has the following absentee record of 40 students of a class for the whole term. Find the mean number of ways a student was absent. So the number of days that is given and also the number of students. So now again we will write the class interval, class mark, that is xi, number of students, that is fi over here, that is the frequency. Then di is xi minus a, that is the assumed mean, and finally fi di. Okay. Now class interval we will just copy from the question, and also we will copy the frequency from the number of students from the question. Okay. Now we are going to calculate the class mark, that is 0 plus 6 by 2. Next, we can also do it in this method just by adding lower limit plus upper limit by 2, or we can also calculate the class width. And but here one thing, okay, let's take a look over here. If you take a look here, 0 in the first row, it is given 0 to 6, right? So in the first row the class width is 4, sorry, class width is 6. But in the next row, 6 to 10, there you will find the class width at 4. So here class width is not consistent, right? It's not same. So that's why if you keep, so whenever you are adding class width, you have to make sure that each class interval will have the same class width. Then only we can add that age value into the class mark. Otherwise, you have to find the class mark just by following the formula, that is lower limit plus upper limit by 2. So since here class with h is not same, that's why we will not add h over here. Okay. So keep that in mind. So now we'll just calculate this. Okay, so we got all the xi values. Now we will assume any one value from xi column as a, that is the assumed mean. So preferably the middle value. So let's take 17 as a. So now di equal to xi minus a means xi minus 17. Now let's calculate 7 minus 3 minus 17, 8 minus 17. Here also we can't take age value because 8 is not same in all the rows. So we have to calculate in this way. We have to do xi minus 17. Okay. Now we are going to multiply fi into di. So let us multiply this. As I told you earlier also that if whichever row we will choose as assumed mean, that row will always be 0. Now, and before that, we will always have the negative value, and after the that row will always have the positive value, because the assumed mean whatever we are choosing, that row will the middle one. So before that, all the class marks are less than the assumed mean value, right? And after that, whatever class mark will be there, that will always be the greater than mean value. So that's why we are getting the negative value at the beginning, and then after that we are getting the positive value. Now we will just add the all the FIs. So summation of FI will be 40 over here, and summation of FI DI is minus 181. Now by assumed mean method, let's apply the formula x bar equal to a plus summation of fi di by summation of fi. So just put the values over here, 17 plus minus 181 by 40. So which is coming 17 plus 4 minus 4.525. So that is coming 12.48, approximate values 12.48 days. So here you need to say write days over here because the mean number of days they are asking, so mean will be 12.48 days. Now let's take a look at the next problem. Find the mean of each of the following frequency distributions, 5 to 14. The class interval and frequency is given. So this is almost of 3 marks question. So let's take a look. So again, first we will just copy the class interval, and then we will copy the frequency. Okay. Now here if you take a look, that we are having the same class width in each class interval, right? So in this case we can take the class width. So now calculate the class mark, that is lower limit plus upper limit by 2, so which is 4. Now keep on adding the class width with the subsequent class mark to get the next class mark. Okay. Now let's calculate di. The di we know that xi minus a. A is the assumed mean method. So, so a is the assumed mean over here. So we have to consider the middle value of the xi. Okay. So here we choose 20. So 4 minus 20, 16 minus 16, 12 minus 20. So in this way keep on filling. Okay. Now we filled all the di values. Now we need to calculate fi di. Just multiply. So we will get all the fi di values over here. Okay. Finally, we need to get the total, that is the summation of fi. We have to add all the fi's and also all the fi di. So first we will add the negative part, and then we will add the positive part. So we just got summation of fi di equal to minus 72. Now let's find the mean method. Now let's find the mean value. That is x bar equal to a plus summation of fi di. Acha. So now in this case, a plus d bar we have written. So what is d bar? D bar is nothing, just that is the summation of fi di by summation of fi. Okay, that's it. We just replace it with. So d bar is summation of fi di by summation of fi. So now we will just calculate the d bar first. So d bar will be summation of fi di by summation of fi. So now put all these values. Okay. So now just calculate this one. So d bar is equal to minus 3.6. So mean will be a plus d bar, that is a is already we have considered as 20. So 20 plus minus 3.6, that is 20 minus 3.6, which is coming 16.4. So that is the mean value using the assumed mean method. Now the next question. Find the mean of each of the following frequency distribution 5 to 14. This question is of 4 marks. So class interval is given and also the frequency is given. So let's take a look. So same way we will just copy the class interval and also the frequency. Okay. Now here also if we take a look, that we are getting the same class width for each class interval. So we can calculate the class width over here. So that is equal to 30 minus 10 equal to 20. Now class mark will be the lower limit plus upper limit by 2. So 10 plus 30 by 2, 20. Now we will keep on adding the class width subsequently. Okay. Yeah. So we filled all the class marks. Now we are going to find the di, that is xi minus a. So first we need to choose the a value over here. So let's take 60 as the a. So that is xi minus 60. Okay, that is the assumed mean. Now let's calculate di values. Okay, so finally we got all the di's. Now we need to find the fi di. So we just need to multiply. Okay, now we need to find the total, that is summation of fi, adding all the fi, that we got 50. Now we need to do the summation of all fi di. So first we will calculate the negative part and then we will calculate the positive one. So finally we got fi di as 280. So the mean x bar will be equal to a plus d bar. So d bar, we already know that d bar is summation of fi di by summation of fi. Okay. So now d bar will be, we are going to calculate. So fi di is 280 and fi is 50. So which is 28 by 5. Now we will do the division. So which is coming 5.6. Okay, so d bar we got 5.6. So now mean x bar will be equal to a plus d bar, that is 60 plus 5.6, which is 65.6. That is the mean value. Hope this is clear. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Let's solve another problem using assumed mean method. Find the mean of each of the following frequency distribution 5 to 14. Okay. So here the question, this question will consist of 3 marks question. So class interval is given and also the frequency. So let's copy the class interval from the question, then copy the frequency. Now here take a look. Here also we have same class width. So we will just calculate the class width, and then we have to first calculate the class mark, that is lower limit plus upper limit by 2, and then keep on adding the subsequent class width. You will get the next class mark. Okay, now we have to calculate the di, that is xi minus a. A will be the assumed mean. So let's choose a from the xi, that is we choose 20, that is the middle value over here. So xi minus 20. So now 4 minus 20. So in this way, let's fill all the data in di column. Okay, so now we are going to calculate fi di. So we just need to multiply fi with di. Okay, now finally we need to add the total, that is summation of fi, which is 40, and then summation of fi di. So first we are going to add the negative part, and then we will add the positive one. Okay, so in this case fi di also we got 40. So the mean x bar will be equal to a, that is the assumed mean, plus d bar. D bar we know that summation of fi di by summation of fi. So now d bar will be here 40 divided by 40, that is equal to 1. So the mean value will be, mean x bar will be a plus d bar, that is 20. 20 we have considered as assumed mean. So 20 plus 1, that is 21. So that is the mean value over here. Okay, so hope you have understood. I have shown you a couple of problems with assumed mean method. Okay, I hope you have understood completely now how to solve the assumed mean method. Okay, that's all for today. So we have just now completed some problems with the assumed mean method. Hope you have understood it. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can put it in the comment section. Okay, not only whatever problems we discussed, if you have any other problems that you want to discuss with me, you want to know how to solve it, then just put it in the comment section. I will try to help you. Okay, or I will come up with a separate video for that. So if you like my video, please just hit the like button, and you can also share this video with its friends so that they can also learn from this video. Okay, and to get future notification of upcoming videos, because I'll be going covering more videos on this statistics chapter, so just for that you need to subscribe to my channel to get the notification for this. Just press the bell icon, and that's all. Then for the upcoming videos that I'll keep on posting, that you will get the notification. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks, bye bye.